No.
It says we're live. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. This is Sahar Amandeep, and you're watching Rethink with Sahar. And this is a platform where we like to think and rethink about things, about our own lives, about our ideas, and see how they can make a difference in our lives and the others' life. So today we have with us Kellie Fitzgerald. She is not only a psychic and a writer, she's also a animal rescuer, a energy worker, spiritual coach, and much more. Welcome, Kellie. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing fabulous so far today.
That's great. It's great to see such a energy. Sometimes it's rare to see such energy, and it's always very good to have it.
Yes.
Those rays affect you all the time. So Kellie, congratulations, your book, Yes, I Died But I'm Totally Fine Now, has been released today, just
Yeah.
released, and
Thank you.
congratulations for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
So
it was. This was the toughest book I've ever written because it was so personal.
yes.
When you're writing for kids or you're writing for others, it's easier because you aren't in there. And this is me. This is really my experience, and it was tough. It was really tough to write.
And sometimes when I write my poems and I send them to a publisher, I feel like I have I bore a daughter,
Hmm.
brought her up, educated her, did everything that could be done to make
Hmm.
her a good person, and then made her a bride and send it to some other place
Right.
to live there
Yeah.
with them, who may or may not care for her or
Right.
appreciate her.
Yeah.
It is certainly that kind of a feeling.
It's a
Yeah.
very personal thing. You're putting yourself out there on paper, and you just hope that people don't hate it. When I started with the Lily and the Elephant series, it's behind me.
Mhm.
I had a dream, and I dreamt I was in a theater and I was watching a movie, and I thought, wow,
Wow,
that's a really cool movie. And I woke up and I started writing the books, and
great.
that was sort of it was like giving birth. It really was putting those books out into the world. And with children, because these books are so about teaching kids to be kind to each other, to be compassionate, to be accepting of those who are different, it was like, I don't know, is the world ready for this? And that was really tough too. And yet
Yeah.
that was not me in the books, and it was still
Yes.
tough. So yeah, I get it. It's hard. It's
Hmm.
scary. Yeah.
And this book, Yes, I Died, but I am totally fine now. This book is, I guess, about your near death experience.
Yeah. Yeah. It was last year was a very tough year for me. It was
Wow.
I was very sick at the
Hmm.
beginning of last year. And where I live in a very rural area. So it's very difficult to get things like good medical care, much less good
Oh.
food or anything like that. So
Hmm.
the doctor I had gone to, I had an infection in my cheek. I have autoimmune issues.
Oh.
And one of my autoimmune issues likes to put cysts in my cheek, always this one.
Oh, that's
And
terrible.
it got infected. And I'm like, it's infected. I've got to get antibiotics. But the
Hmm.
local doctor said, no, we've overprescribed them. We're going to let your body fight it off. So what
Oh,
happened is the infection got into my bloodstream and it stopped my heart.
God.
And the experience was surreal. I do animal rescue. So I had a bunch of animals in my house. And
Hmm.
they wouldn't leave me. And they kept looking at me, and my dog would look at me and cock his head and look at me and go the other way. And like they knew something was wrong.
Something's happening,
And
not good. Yeah.
I guess I called 911. I don't remember it.
Mm-hmm.
And it took two ambulances and a helicopter to get me to the right hospital.
Wow.
So I died in the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember sitting outside the helicopter on the landing skids, looking over my
Oh,
shoulder, watching this guy give me CPR and say, come on, you stay with me, stay with, and I
wow.
remember that. And I knew I died because I was sitting on the landing skids outside of the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized there was a bright being on either side of me. And the second I saw them in a tunnel, and
Wow.
I was gone. It felt to me, my experience on the other side felt like
Mhm.
months, felt like I was there forever. I saw
Years and years.
people, I
Yeah.
talked to, learned lessons, met pets that had died through the years. And, it was love. There are no words to
I
describe
can imagine.
that
I can
love.
imagine um, a state of mind or a stage. Buddhists call it shunya, zero, the stage of zero. Everything is so together. It's so intermingled. Not even intermingled is not the right word, but it is one.
Yeah,
Everything is so much one,
yeah,
and that the thing is different. Everything is there and nothing is there.
yeah,
And that fullness, that wholeness feeling, that's amazing.
yeah. Well, we are all connected, and
Yes.
I knew that, and I believed that before this happened. But actually being able to see it,
Ah,
and they showed me little silvery tendrils connecting everyone together, and I was like, "Whoa, that's cool!" And it was I friends that had passed away years, decades before were there. Like I said,
wow.
animals were there. It
Mhm.
was just so peaceful and so like, okay, I belong here. And just being wrapped in that complete unconditional love was amazing.
Wow. That's
And
beautiful.
boy, did
Nothing
it
like
hurt.
that.
It hurt when they pulled me back. I did not want to come back. I was like, no.
Yeah. In fact, I have read and heard about a lot of near death experiences, and they all have this kind of common thing in them that the subject doesn't want to come back.
Yeah, yeah, it's a really difficult place to leave, you
Yeah.
know. And my
Life is so full of misery,
yep,
and that is complete bliss. And we really do not know what to do when
right,
we are there and we have to come back.
yeah. Well, it hurt,
It
when
hurts.
I slammed back into my body, and I was like,
Wow.
ow, it was just incredibly painful. So then I
Ah.
really wished I hadn't left. I was like, wait a minute, I'm in pain again. Can I go back? You know, but no,
Now you cannot go back.
no. They said there's big purpose for you. You have to stay here. I'm like, you know, but
That's
yeah.
right.
So there was a lot that happened that when I was sending copies with the rough versions of the book to people to
Mhm.
say, help me edit this, looking for an edit, that kind of stuff. People would say, that shouldn't have happened to you. I'm like, it did. What are you gonna do? I
Yeah,
survived it. What are you gonna do? But
now it has. So what can I do about it?
I can't go back and fix it now. So,
Exactly.
but I've talked to other people who have had a near-death experience, and they all say the same thing. Yeah, people were like, "Well, that shouldn't have happened." Well, yeah, but it did. What do you want me to do with it? It
Uh,
happened. You move forward. You learn to move forward. There are still days that I find myself in tears over what I went through. Not
mm,
necessarily from a grief standpoint, but from a I cannot believe I have gone through what I have gone through. And it's
mhm.
just, I do speaking engagements and projects and stuff from time to time. And I had someone come up to me and she said, she said she died. Her battered women's shelters because I have that experience in my background. And she had had a near death experience. Hers had been a drug overdose.
Wow.
And but she still had a near death experience. And I'm like, she says, but mine wasn't like yours because I kind of did it to myself. You
Mhm.
still had a near death experience. Congratulations, you're still here. And it just, the more people I would talk to, the more people I realized were having these deep, profound experiences. And somehow they felt unworthy of sharing
Uh-huh.
their story. I'm like,
Mm.
get over it. You have to share your story. And
Yes.
she's working on a compilation book that I'm trying to put together right now,
Mhm.
with other people's stories, not mine,
So,
uh, just to help other people who've gone through it.
yes.
Because people, even in my own life, who know me very well, would look at me when I came back and they're just like, I don't know what to do for you. What do you need? Because I had just gotten home from the hospital. I was in the hospital 10 days, 11 days.
Oh, wow.
And when I came home, people expected me to like be in bed resting. And I
Mm.
was up throwing a ball for the dogs and washing dishes and trying to resume my life because I needed so badly to find
Exactly.
something that felt normal, because
Mm.
what I had been through was not normal. It's not normal. And I've heard that from other people who've had an NDE. Even though you may not be ready for what was normal, you need to do something to really make you feel like, yeah, I survived. I'm alive. Okay, I can wash this cup and I can focus on washing this cup and I can feel like I'm alive and I'm washing the
Mhm.
coffee cup. And
Yes.
I had to do those little things.
To
And
feel.
to feel like I was in my body, I was alive.
Yes.
Because when you go through that, you're not sure. And
What's happening when you realize yourself to be way beyond your body,
yeah,
and again to confine yourself in this little prison, it's
yeah.
it's a little difficult.
It, it was.
It,
It took
I
me
don't know, but
months.
yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
took months. But you're absolutely right. It's like I was out here, and now I'm here, and it was really difficult. And so people would look at me and go, I don't know what you need. You got to need something. You just, you have to, there's got to be something you need. What do you need? And what I needed was to feel inside my body. I needed to feel my body. I did a lot of things like this, just to
Yeah.
feel like I was in my body. It was the
Mm.
weirdest thing. It was just really strange. But it's very common, I
It's
found.
when you look into the mirror, you feel like you're looking at some other person.
Yeah, yeah, you
Yeah.
do. It's and the nightmares, the most common thing that I talk to other NDE experiencers about is we all kind of have that same dream where you didn't come back and nobody missed you.
Yeah.
And that is such a common nightmare because that is like our worst fear of living our lives and it didn't matter. Everyone wants to
And
matter.
exactly. And we dedicate all our lives to others rather than living a life for ourselves. And
Yeah,
not in a small manner, but in a
yeah.
um, big scenario. So, your books have, I would like to talk about your animal rescue thing. How did you
Okay.
get interested in that? And how did it help you recover from whatever experience you had?
I really honestly feel like animals have saved my life throughout
Uh-huh.
my life. Um,
Okay.
I wasn't a real happy kid. I didn't
Mhm.
have a whole lot of friends. We were um, I come from a very long line of unsocial, antisocial people. So
Mhm.
for me, being me, I wanted friends. I was like, look, there's a person. Let's go over here.
Yeah,
And it was I was very lonely. And I
I
always
can
wanted
understand that.
friends. And
Mm-hmm.
so my friends were the animals that we had. I told people one of my best friends' name was Rusty, and he was a rooster. And they looked at me like I was, had three heads and was green skinned. It was, but that's where how I grew up.
Wow.
Animals were around, and
Mm.
they were always my friends. They were my confidants.
And they
The only
still
time I
are.
ever felt unconditional love was from animals.
Yeah.
And as I grew up, I would realize that people they're not always kind to animals.
Yes.
And well, my grandmother did animal rescue. My mother did animal rescue. So I come by it honestly. It's
Mhm.
it's a family trait. But
Great.
I would find, half starved kittens or puppies or whatever, and
Mhm.
where they might run from other people, they would run to me. So I had that connection, and I just never stopped.
Wow.
I've told people, I was married for a very long time, and he would say one more animal and I'm leaving, and I got tired of hearing it, so I brought home an animal. Here, go. It was because if you are an animal person, you are an animal person. If that is what you love, that is what you love. Other people love things or houses or cars or whatever they love. I always
You
love
know,
people.
people can love things, but they
Yeah,
cannot love even other humans as well.
right,
And they cannot love animals, no living beings.
right.
But yeah, things, yes. Things
Yeah.
are to be
So
used, but they're loved, and people are to be loved and they're used.
yeah. But I did establish a nonprofit. I have a 501c3 nonprofit for animal rescue, and I came home from the hospital and decided, you know what, I need another dog. So it's just who I am, and it's so big a part of me. Where in the past, I tell people I'm a recovered people pleaser, because if I had several actual relationships where people would say, oh, yeah, I don't want the dog. And I would find someone to take the dog. And when I look back now, it breaks my heart because I allowed someone who didn't understand who I was
Yes.
to try and change me. And that's just a horrible thing. And I think a lot of women, some men too, but a lot of women kind of grow up that way,
Hmm.
where it's like, well, your job is to grow up, get married, have kids. That's your job, that's your life.
Oh
And
my God.
it's not your life.
It's not your life. This disconnection between self and self,
Yeah,
your own self and the true self.
right.
So that creates a chaos which we as human beings are not made to bear.
Mm-mm.
Our brains are not wired to take that thing,
Right.
live anybody else's life, somebody else's life.
Yep.
Kelly, I see these posters behind you.
That is the Laley and the Elephants posters. The smaller
Okay.
two are from, I think that's book 2 or 3, maybe 4. And
Uh-huh.
the big one is the movie poster. We are working on an animated movie. Um,
Beautiful.
it's I tell people it's a socially conscious thing. The whole premise behind the books is to teach people acceptance and love and
Mm.
compassion. Um, Laylee is deaf. She's a deaf child,
Okay.
and she's based on loosely based on a grandchild that I have who is deaf, and
Uh,
that's why she's deaf. Um, because people get the wrong idea about people who are differently
yes.
abled. Um, Deaf kids are just kids. Blind kids are just
They're the
kids.
same as
It's,
anybody else. The only
it's,
thing is
it's,
they
it's
cannot.
you know,
Yeah.
that- so I made a deaf child a hero.
Okay.
But it's about protecting the environment, loving the environment,
Mm-hmm.
realizing that every living being has a soul. I know that's really controversial for a lot of people, but that's what I wanted to show kids is that, you may be taught this is real, but this is
Look
real.
at this.
And that's kind of the whole premise of the project. So
In
hopefully the
the
movie will come together. Hopefully.
mm, in the Indian tradition, there is a story. There's a small frog. Of course, small frogs are small. Okay, he's living in a pond,
Hmm.
a well or a pond, a small territory. So he is like, this is the whole universe.
Right.
And then one of his friends from the same pond or the well, he happened to see the ocean and live in the ocean for some time and then come back. And this little guy, he's not ready to believe, actually, he's not able to believe
Right.
that there can be anything bigger than this well.
Right.
So that's how we are.
Yeah.
That's how we are. We do not believe that there is anything bigger than our own little identities.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I set this story in Thailand instead
Okay.
of Africa. I know African elephants have some horrible, I get that. I'm not saying they don't. But in Thailand, it's such a small country and
Hmm.
the people don't know what to do. They have these animals that are their animals, they live there. And the Asian elephant is expected to go extinct from Thailand in the next 10 years.
Oh.
The orangutans are expected to go extinct from Thailand within the next 7 to 10
Mhm.
years. And I was hearing these statistics, and I have really good friends who do wonderful things with elephants around the world. And I was like, we can't wait till they're adults. We have to teach these kids now,
Yeah.
and that was kind of the other thing that was really important to my heart was
Hmm.
the elephants. And I made it about elephants
I love
because,
elephants.
they're going to
They're
be,
such innocent creatures.
yeah, elephants are just magnificent. And
Majestic.
it's just, hurts my heart to think that they could go extinct in the wild in Thailand. That's just not acceptable to me. So I'm working to get kids interested in and wanting to protect them. That's a big
Mm,
thing. Yeah. And in the
great.
movie, the elephants are heroes too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
I have seen an elephant crying. It
yeah.
was so majestic, so big, so huge, and eyes full of pity and crying.
Yeah.
That broke my heart.
And they form such close knit bonds with
Yes,
their family groups, and they're just so loving to each other and gentle to other beings
yes, they
too.
are pretty gentle.
Yeah, very, very special to me. Yeah.
So, tell me something about your upcoming animated movie. So, what stage are you at?
We are still trying to find money, but we
Okay.
have a composer and we do have the animation team.
Hmm.
So we are in constant fundraising mode right at this point.
Great.
We
You
do have a
can.
script, so we're
You.
ready to go. We are
That's what.
making progress. It's just it's expensive to make a movie.
You may leave your link here if you would want to.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can say it, and I will leave it there.
Okay. Yeah. The website is laehli.com. It's laehli.com. You can find out everything about it. Um, we're hoping to be moving forward in big strides later on this year. We kind of got a little bit delayed because I died, but you know, I had a
Okay.
previous a previous client call me the other day, and she said, well, are you taking clients still? Are you working now? And I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't I be? Well, I heard you
Yeah,
died. Yeah, that was last year. I'm fine
that's
now.
see, I'm back to life now.
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, but it's been kind of funny. Other people's reactions has been really funny. You're still doing that,
Everybody.
baby? I thought you died. I'm alive, and clearly I'm still doing this. So yeah, we are moving forward on it.
You
Um,
know, there are people who, when they look at someone like yourself who has had a different experience, they feel like a kind of groupism.
mhm,
For example, there is a story by Dr. Seuss.
yeah,
He says there were the people who put butter on top of the bread, and there were who put at the bottom of the bread, and they that little thing ultimately led to a war
yeah,
between the two tribes. So it's that groupism, the sense of groupism that happens. That's not really. I mean, they feel like that I'm different, and now that she has had a different experience, she's different.
yeah, yeah.
So
And
let me look
and
at her like this.
we spend way too much time focusing on what's different
Yes,
because we're all the same. We're all
we are all
people.
the same.
You know, we're all connected, and
Until
that's one of the big things that I talk to people about these days is don't look for the differences. You're going to
Mhm.
look what you're going to find what you're looking for. So
Yes,
let's look for the happy. Let's look for the we are connected. We are all the same. Let's look for
yeah,
that stuff. You know, let's
that's
look
right.
for the love. Is what we should be looking for. Um, to me, it's a simple concept, but clearly to the rest of the world, it might be difficult.
No, it's it's life. It's flowing.
Yeah,
It's like the flow of a river that every atom in the every particle of water is different, yet it's all one.
yeah,
But then we can only see either oneness or the difference, we or just nothing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
It,
it's
it, we live in an amazing place. You know, the earth, Gaia, Mother Earth, Mother Nature.
Mother Earth.
And we should really focus more on what we can do to help the planet, to help each other. You know, it's really what people don't understand. And one of the things that I learned from the other side is we are all so connected that what happens in one place affects everyone else, whether we
Exactly.
realize it or not. So, you know, live
Yeah.
looking for the love and not the ick. You
And
know,
what I feel like is, after all, everything in the universe, right from metals to human body to anything in the world, in the
right?
universe itself, it's either matter or it's energy. And
Yeah,
now they
totally.
say matter and energy are also not separate. That's just a wave.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I mean, it's a thing that we cannot deny, that at the base of things, at the core of everything, it's unity.
yeah,
The differences are just visible, they are not real.
yeah. It's when I tell people everything is energy, and energy can neither be created nor destroyed. We are energy. Everything is energy. Everything around us is
Everything is
energy.
energy.
They look at me like, huh? What are you saying? But it's been scientifically proven that everything
Exactly.
is energy. Yeah, yeah,
That's
it's the
right.
truth. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
So, lady, uh, you got this um, um, gift of intuition and your psychic abilities
yep.
as a child.
Yeah,
What
I've
do you
always
think
had it.
those who have not got that gift, can they develop it in themselves?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everyone has it. It just
Mhm.
depends on whether or not you want to develop it. For decades, I tried turning mine off, and it was just like, nope, you're not turning it off. Nope, you. This is who you are. And I think a lot of people when they are kids, if they have anything that is quote unquote different about them,
Mm-hmm.
I think they turn it off so that they can fit in better.
Exactly.
Um, and I think a lot of adults were children that did turn it off. So anytime that you want to develop those gifts, you
Mm-hmm.
can. It's never too late. It's really just a matter of deciding that you're going to, that you're ready for it. I know people told me for a good 2 decades at least,
Wow.
um, that I needed to use my gifts. You could help other people with your gifts. And I was like, no, and finally I was like, fine, I'll give it a go. And it worked. And it was just sort of one of those things that, what was I afraid of? You, everyone has it. Don't be afraid of it.
Great. Any last one? Do you have any tip for our audience?
Um, Always look for the love is what I've been telling people.
Wow.
It really, in all the horrible fires in Southern California and everything, when you
Mm,
look at it, always find the helpers. Mr. Rogers said that. Always find the helpers, and they are out there. Don't
yeah,
associate with the ones trying to tear people apart. Be one of the
exactly.
people that brings them together. I mean, that's really what we need right now around the world. We need togetherness.
Thank you, Kelly. And thank you for being with us. And thank you for giving us this tip of love. And and it's it's been really great talking to you.
Yeah.
And congratulations once again for the launch of your new book. And yes, I request my audience, our audiences, to go to laylay.com.
Yes, Laley, LAEHLI.com.
Okay.
Yep.
So go there and support the animated movie that Kelly is going to is working on. Sorry,
Yeah.
Kelly is working on, and so we hope to see that movie soon in theaters.
Yeah, that's what we're
And
hoping.
good luck, Kelly, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was a pleasure.